experienced situationships hurt more because you're left with so many what ifs.
Envision a life together with the family and the dog and the house, and you go on the trips, and just like everything's perfect and amazing, and then all of a sudden one day the person starts pulling away and you're like, what's going on? Why are you acting this way? Like, you're not supposed to act this way. Like, we're supposed to always be together and sending text messages and planning our vacations. Like,
their lack of commitment was not a measurement of your worth. Stop getting attached too early. Stop acting like you're dating when you're not dating.
No, I don't think I will.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with this woman right here who got dumped, okay? She got dumped by Chad, she got dumped by some dude, and the real kicker of this story is that not only did she get dumped, but she didn't even have a relationship to begin with, because this woman was in a situationship, okay? And a lot of these women that we're going to be covering here today, they're really angry, they're really frustrated because men are not giving them commitment anymore. Okay, it's kind of just like a, yeah, we're going to have some fun together, but no, sorry, I don't really want to make you my girlfriend. And a lot of these women, they think that they're the dude's girlfriend, but really the guy isn't interested at all, right? It's a real problem for a lot of these quote-unquote ladies. So let's jump right into this video right here. Just a bit of a warning, guys, this woman is a bit of a psycho, so just a fair warning there. Let's just jump right in. As always, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen to some of these individuals.
if you're wondering what a situationship is, it's this. It's those 3 to 4 to 5 month relationships where you're really into someone, things are amazing, it's like you're in the honeymoon phase, you're like, I'm head over heels for them, you start to envision a life together with the family and the dog and the house, and you go on the trips, and just like everything's perfect and amazing, and then all of a sudden one day the person starts pulling away and you're like, what's going on?
Okay, so first of all, this is not what a situationship is. A situationship is basically where a woman will get with a dude and she wants commitment from him, but he doesn't want to give it to her. Okay, and the reason why I say this goes this way around is because simply it really does not exist the other way around. You have a whole bunch of women chasing men who don't want to commit to them, and we call this a situationship, okay? You know, we as dudes, we've also coined this term here, something kind of similar called the talking stage. This is just a term made up by dudes so that they don't have to commit to you. Like, these women are straight up being absolutely bamboozled, but no, a situationship is basically when a dude doesn't want to commit to you, and you do, so you keep chasing him and you think that you're in a relationship, but you're really not. You have nothing, okay? And women will do this. A lot of these modern, again, quote-unquote ladies, they will chase dudes for months. Sometimes even years. I'm not even kidding when I say that, but quite literally months, 3, 4, 5 months. I covered a woman recently, I'm not sure which episode it was, but she literally said, hey, you know, we've got to we've got to introduce some boundaries, ladies. We've got to say there's a cutoff period, right? If a man doesn't offer you commitment after 4 to 5 months, then you got to go to the next one. It's like, some of these women are so clueless, man, so clueless. But let's run it back and keep going with the video here.
Phase, you're like, I'm head over heels for them, you start to envision a life together with the family and the dog and the house, and you go on the trips, and just like everything's perfect and amazing, and then all of a sudden one day the person starts pulling away and you're like, what's going on? Why are you acting this way? Like, you're not supposed to act this way. Like, we're supposed to always be together and sending text messages and planning our vacations. Like, what?
We are supposed to always be together. We're supposed to always be talking. We're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to act this way. Here's the thing about situationships, okay? This might be a really radical concept here, but here's the thing. The man does not owe you anything. He doesn't owe you commitment. He doesn't owe you messaging you. He doesn't owe you spending time with you or going on vacations. He doesn't owe you giving you a family. You know, it's different, okay? If this woman has got her definitions confused here, and she was actually in a relationship with this guy, then that's a little bit different, okay? But she's calling this a situationship, right? So situationship, the definition is you don't actually have a real relationship, hence why it differs from relationship. Okay, but you know, the man in this situation, he doesn't owe you anything. In a lot of these stories, like, the real crux of the thing is, like, at the end of the day, men don't owe you things. Okay, in the same way that women don't just owe things. People don't just owe each other things simply because you exist, right? If you're a woman and you come along and say, well, I deserve flowers because I'm a woman, it's like, okay, bro, good luck with that. You know, like, you want to be treated a particular way. It's right. I want equality. I want to be strong and independent, but at the same time, I want to be treated like a lady, and I want the man to lead it. So I'm sorry, are you leading? Is the man leading? Like, but you know, we're not supposed to act this way, guys. You know, we're supposed to commit to women, is what has to be the case.
Act this way, like we're supposed to always be together and sending text messages and planning our vacations, like what's going on, and then all of a sudden they just dump you out of nowhere. And so it's called a situationship because it's kind of like, okay, I have a situation, I'm with this person, and we used to be super in love, or maybe we just like really liked each other, and then out of nowhere things just started to like fizzle out.
Okay, so number one, that's not why it's called a situationship. A situationship is called a situationship because you don't have any definitive terms. You two are not in a monogamous relationship. He doesn't owe you anything, essentially. You're basically the side piece. I'm sorry. If you're in a situationship as a woman, that just shows you that you have very little self-respect, and he's probably seeing other women anyway. Like, he's not interested in committing to you. Okay, and the longer you play around and you do these situationships and you chase dudes who don't want you, the bigger of a red flag it is, right? It's a red flag if you do this crap once, right? This is a red flag, right? But if you continuously do it, even, you know, sometimes even the simps, I mean, who am I kidding? They're not going to care, but, you know, it just becomes more and more of like a red flag. Like, if you say a girl, she sits down, she's like, oh yeah, I was in a situationship for 6 months. Good luck having a relationship with that woman ever. Like, seriously, good luck to you.
So it's called a situationship because it's kind of like, okay, I have a situation, I'm with this person, and we used to be super in love, or maybe we just like really liked each other, and then out of nowhere things just started to like fizzle out, and then they just totally did like a 180, and they either like ghost you or they dump you, and it just like, you're left heartbroken.
So let me get this straight. If a dude ghosts you out of a situationship, you are heartbroken. So you're heartbroken. Get this, you're heartbroken over a relationship that you didn't even have. That is, round of applause, guys. That is absolutely amazing stuff right there. Really amazing. And also, let's just say you are in a relationship, right? Like, hypothetically, you're in a relationship, you're in a decently long-term relationship, things are going well, you made it to like a year or whatever the hell, I don't know, right? You're in a relationship, and then here's the thing. This is my belief, okay? I don't think that men just get up and leave without a reason. Like, typically there's some reason, right? It's like, dudes don't just go, yeah, look, see you later, I'm kind of bored now, I'm out of it. Like, that is not something that I see happening a whole lot here. This is something that in a lot of cases women do, right? They collect their options on like Instagram or whatever application happens to be the new thing, right? And then they'll go, yeah, I'm just going to hop ship to this guy. Okay, but typically to actually lose a dude, you have to do something pretty egregious for the dude to just say, yeah, look, I'm done, out of nowhere, see you later. But, you know, that's giving this woman the incredible benefit of the doubt. If you're in a situationship here, he didn't leave you because you never had him in the first place. That's just the way it goes. You never had a relationship with the guy anyway.
And they just totally did like a 180, and they either like ghost you or they dump you, and it just like, you're left heartbroken. So you call it a situationship because it's like, that is the situation. And so the situation can change from the beginning being like in love to the end being dumped and heartbroken, to after the heartbreak of you start to enter into the process of, okay, I want to get them back. I want to make them jealous. I'll do whatever it takes to get them mad. Like,
that was the plan. Not a great plan.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode.
So, this is stunning stuff here. So, let me get this straight. This guy who broke your heart, who you didn't even have a relationship with, you want to get him back. Like, even from a logical perspective, you're not getting him back because you never had him. That's number one here. So, like, that's number one. Number two, this woman just doesn't seem to understand what the hell she's talking about. She's like, oh, it's called a situationship because insert things that don't make sense. It's called a situationship. Once again, it's called a situationship because it differs. It's not a relationship. You understand? You're in a situation. You have no labels, right? It's not because it changes from like being in love to not being in love. This woman has no idea what the hell she's talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I want to make them jealous. I'll do whatever it takes to get them mad. Like, you start going delusional because you just want them back so badly, or you want to get back at them. And so that's the situation at the very end of the relationship. So all in all, if you're in a relationship with someone and you actually haven't put the label of boyfriend and girlfriend on the relationship, then you're in a situationship.
Okay, so we do understand, right? So we've gotten to the end and we got to the true definition here. And yeah, so exactly, you don't even have a relationship. These two, this is an oxymoron. My head's going to explode here, guys. You'll have to excuse me because my head just imploded on itself, okay? Oh my goodness. So if you're in a relationship, okay, and you don't have a label on the relationship, you're not in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Am I crazy here, guys? Like, am I going crazy watching some of these videos? I feel like I'm getting stupider. Like, my IQ is genuinely probably dropping from watching some of this crap. If you're in a relationship and you have no labels, it's not a relationship, it is a situationship. You understand? It's not a relationship. You had nothing. These women, they cope so incredibly hard because they think that they have a relationship with some guy. Right? Oh, I used to have a relationship with, you know, Tom. And then you speak to Tom and he's like, what the hell? No, he's like, no, we didn't. She was just a bit of fun. Holy hell, man. Absolutely hilarious. Let's jump into the next clip here. I'll find us the next one of the video. We got some more, you know, dating advice coming in hot from women who are in situationships, which, you know, sounds a little bit sketchy. And that's because it is. Let's continue.
On through those. Get after me. I do not want anyone that isn't full.
Wait, we missed it. We missed a little bit of here. We missed the gem. How to get over a situationship.
A situationship, because I feel like we've all gone through those. Get after me. I do not want anyone that isn't fully invested in me. Okay, your turn. For one, don't take it personally. Stop saying what's wrong with me. Their lack of commitment was not a measurement of your worth. Stop getting attached too early. Stop acting like you're dating when you're not dating. Trust.
This is amazing. I love this line of thinking, right? It's like, okay, this man that I was chasing, he didn't commit to me, and it's not a measure of my worth. You know, playing devil's advocate a bit here, it actually might be. Because in a lot of situations when men don't commit to you, there's usually a reason. And usually the reason is something like, well, you know, why would I commit to her? It's not really worth it. That means that she's probably a risk in some capacity. Okay, now, ironically enough, if you're a woman and you're chasing dudes who don't want you, you have just proven that you're a risk in the first place, right? Because women who are, you know, who are not risky investments, shall we say, which arguably they all are in the year 2023, especially with things like marriage. But in short, what I'm trying to say here is no dude, no self-respecting man wants to have a relationship with a woman who has 304 or promiscuous tendencies, because it's incredibly risky to have that relationship in the first place, right? So there's a reason. If you're getting rejected by dudes, right, first of all, get a dude who wants you. Not that hard. Second of all, if you are getting rejected by a whole bunch of men, there's usually a reason for that. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. There's usually a reason. If you're a 35-year-old woman, for example, and you're like, oh, all the men reject me, probably a reason, you know? But let's continue.
dating. Trust me, you don't want them. You want the version of them you created in your head. The one
I'm gonna run that back.
early. Stop acting like you're dating when you're not dating. Trust me, you don't want them. You want the version of them you created in your head. The one in real life is inconsistent, clearly doesn't give a shit about your feelings, and is walking all over you. Stop romanticizing this person in your brain and accept the reality. Next, no second chances. Candidate with you, yet they keep responding to all your Instagram stories. Don't waste your energy. Perfect timing for this song. It's too hard, just mute their notifications. What you're gonna do next is work on yourself. You are about to settle for a shitty ass relationship. Focus on creating a life that you love. That way,
We were about to settle for a crappy relationship. I'm sorry, but weren't you the one chasing the dude in the first place? So like, where exactly is the logic here, by the way? You know, this woman, when these girls make these videos, they're essentially like handing you, at the same time as them complaining, they're essentially handing men a lot of information at the same time, right? So number one, you get the information of what are these women actually chasing? Like, let's think about that for a second, right? If all of these women, this woman opened up this video by saying that situationships were apparently a universal experience. So let that sink in for a second. According to this woman, not me, according to this woman, most, if not all women, have been in situationships, right? They're attracted to, at least in some degree, to situationships, right? So that's her words, not mine. That should tell you a lot of information right there. Number two, these situationships that these women find them in, they have a whole bunch of characteristics. What are those characteristics? Number one, the man actually really doesn't care about your emotions. He doesn't care about your needs. He just sees you as a bit of fun. He doesn't actually want to have a relationship with you. He's probably emotionally unavailable, as you call it, right? Like, all of these things, you're essentially just handing a blueprint to men and going, yeah, I like dudes who treat me poorly. Or not even necessarily poorly. I wouldn't say poorly, actually, but I like dudes who don't give me attention, really, is what it boils down to. It's all about, I need attention, me, and the dudes who don't give you that crap, who are attractive, yeah, we'll chase the hell out of those guys, right? And then you wonder why dudes actually don't want to take you out on dates, or they don't approach you correctly, like the last video, correctly, quote unquote, right? You know, it answers itself, really.
relationship. Focus on creating a life that you love. That way you don't even remember them.
In my experience,
Holy hell, this woman's loud. So that way, this woman's advice here, you know, all that stuff, she wraps it up with, create your own advice and you won't even remember them. This woman remembers. She's directing this video, ironically enough, at that one dude that she's thinking about in her head, and she very much remembers him. That's the funny part about all these videos. It's like they're specifically addressing one particular dude from their past when they make these videos, by the way. Let's jump into the next video. I might have to turn this down. This woman just blew out my eardrums. The volume's equalized for you guys, but some of these women are incredibly loud.
so many what ifs. Like, at the end of a relationship, you knew what that relationship was from start to finish. With situationships, you always wonder if they may have changed or acted different if they were your actual boyfriend or girlfriend instead of just like that in between. Also,
right, so we missed something at the start here, something incredibly crucial. Let me just wind it back.
in my experience, situationships hurt more because you're left with so many what ifs. Like,
Okay, so this woman just made the case that situationships hurt more than actual relationships. In other words, translation, she is more emotionally invested, she is more obsessed with the guy who doesn't give a crap about her and doesn't care to put a label on whatever it is that they have. Isn't that interesting? How is that for a bit of knowledge, right? Again, I'm not saying this crap. This is what this woman just said. The relationships that she didn't even have, the situationships, are more emotionally relevant to her than her actual serious relationships with men who care about her. That's an interesting bit of truth right there, isn't it?
at the end of a relationship, you knew what that relationship was from start to finish. With situationships, you always wonder if they may have changed or acted different if they were your actual boyfriend or girlfriend instead of just like that in between. We also are mourning the idea of them more than like what we actually had, and that goes back to the what ifs. I just think that sometimes it's really hard to let go of something that you never actually had.
Absolutely genius here. So not only, so these situationships, here's the crazy part. We didn't even care about those guys either. You know, we just cared about the idea of them that we had in our heads. So we didn't care about either men. We didn't care about the dude that we had a long-term relationship with because apparently we care more about the situationship. But we didn't care about the situationship either because we were more interested in what could have been than the actual person himself. you know, a bit of interpretation might be here. A bit of a, you know, a depressing translation here might be, we're not actually interested in the men that we date. We don't actually care. That's a very hard truth to walk away. This woman essentially just said that she doesn't really value the men that she dates in any capacity. Very, pretty dark, you know, when you translate it and when you actually think about that. Right, and I don't mean to make this video sad or anything like that, guys. It's just very interesting to note what some of these people choose to put on the internet. This woman openly just said that she doesn't even really care about the dudes that she dates in any capacity.
Because you didn't give it a fair chance. You didn't know what it would have looked like. Whereas sometimes leaving a toxic relationship, when you're out of it, you're like, holy crap, that was horrible. But with a situationship, you're still questioning what it would have been like to date them.
If you're wondering what is
Right, so option number 1, we have a toxic relationship. Option number 2, we have a situationship. Really interesting set of problems that you have there, madam. Something's telling me it's more you than anything. But let's continue into this next video. Let me see if I can find one here that I haven't covered. We'll jump into a little bit of this woman right here, considering we've covered her before. So I probably won't do the whole thing. We'll just do a couple of minutes, but we'll take a listen to this one for any of you guys who haven't seen this particular quote-unquote lady.
How are you going to message me telling me that I'm the most beautiful girl you've ever seen? And we go back and forth like 3 times, and then you say, let's take this off the app. And then you give me your phone number, and then I text you, and then you don't respond to me.
It's an evil world we live in.
While you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe to me and our fellow Fiend Gang members. You can find their channels linked in the video description. If you like my videos, make sure you go check out Warg the Detective, Hidan the Mummy, and Locke the Bounty Hunter, and subscribe to their channels in the description down below. Now back to the video.
Yeah, so long story short here, the dude didn't care about you and he's not interested. I know this is a really tough pill to swallow, madam, but some men are just not interested in you. Right? Look at these. These are terrifying, man. Like some of these, the anger comes from, why is it that this one particular man that I want, why doesn't he respond to my messages, or why doesn't he talk to me? Like, oh, what a rough life that must be, you know? But we're losing our mind on TikTok because Chad wouldn't reply to us on a dating application. Or I'm sorry, right after a dating application. Ma'am, these people, like, they expect some sort of like emotional investment or some sort of connection to be built on behalf of the guy, but they're just side pieces. Like that, they're treating themselves like side pieces, and then they're confused when they get treated like side pieces. Amazing stuff.
This was like a month ago, so this isn't like a couple hours you didn't respond. You asked me for my contact information, and then you didn't respond.
Damn.
Oh my god. And then you find me on TikTok. Okay, you find me on TikTok. You go over to my Instagram. Okay, you go over to my Instagram, message me, hey, we have similar stories. I like you, blah, 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 blah. We should hang out when you're in town. And then you respond.
Damn, so this guy did the bait and switch twice. This woman's just losing her mind over it. Look at these facial expressions. That's a thumbnail and a half. I don't want to use this woman again for a thumbnail because I think we've covered her previously. So we'll probably use a different woman here. But how's that for a thumbnail face? Absolutely fantastic. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. And guys, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.